Finally, her boyfriend arrived and immediately started talking about some tech event he'd been to the night before. And then he said it. Asked if Kenny had enjoyed the open bar, mentioned seeing him there with his fiancée. I must have looked confused, because they all got quiet. Em took out her phone, started apologizing, saying she wasn't sure if she should show me or not, but she'd seen something on Instagram that morning that didn't make sense. She handed me her phone. It was some woman's profile I didn't recognize, a blonde named Daria. Her most recent post was from the night before. String lights, champagne glasses, and her hand with a diamond ring. Caption: I said yes, can't believe I get to marry my soulmate. I scrolled through her profile. Posts of them going back at least a month. Captions about my man and date night with the love of my life. In one, they were at the beach from 2 weekends before, when Kenny had told me he was visiting his parents upstate. I excused myself from dinner, told Em and R I'd call them later, went straight home and checked our shared credit card account on my phone. Found charges for restaurants I'd never been to, a hotel downtown from 3 weeks ago, a jewelry store charge from last week, $2,800. That's when it hit me. He'd bought her ring with my money. I sat by the window in our apartment, scrolling through all the evidence until it got dark. Around 9 o'clock, I heard his key in the lock. He came in, kicked off his shoes like it was any other night, went straight to the fridge, pulled out a beer that I'd paid for. I asked him where he'd been. Just networking, he said, making connections, things were looking up. Then I asked if he'd gotten engaged recently. You should have seen his face. First shock, then this weird smirk, like he was almost impressed I'd found out. When I asked if he'd proposed to that blonde girl from the photos, he just shrugged, said something like, "Look, can we not do this now? I don't owe you anything." I was shaking. "You spent my money, lived with me, and proposed to someone else." I screamed it at him, loud enough that I'm sure the neighbors heard. And that's when he said it, the thing I can't get out of my head. He rolled his eyes, took a swig of beer, and said, "Come on, you really thought I'd give you a ring? You're the kind of girl men settle for when they fail." I didn't fail. I don't remember consciously deciding to hit him, but suddenly my fist connected with his chest, hard. He stumbled back, spilling beer on his shirt. Before he could recover, I slapped him across the face, leaving a red mark on his cheek. I told him to get out, to pack his stuff and leave. He tried to argue, said I was overreacting. I grabbed his backpack from the hook by the door and started shoving whatever I could reach into it. His charger from the counter, some t-shirts from the clean laundry pile, threw it at him and told him if he wasn't gone in 5 minutes, I'd call his new fiancée and tell her everything. That got him moving. He grabbed some essentials, mumbling about coming back for the rest later. I told him to coordinate with the landlord because I wouldn't be letting him in again. He slammed the door on his way out. I changed the locks the next day, put his remaining stuff in trash bags by the dumpster, blocked his number, his email, his social media. But the nightmare wasn't over.